Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm joined by Simon Gregory this afternoon. Good morning.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Would you like to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and your business, please, sir?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Simon Gregory. I'm a director of Parker's Estate Agents. I run 4 offices in the Reading area. I've been with Parker's for 10 years now. We're part of the property franchise group, which is owned by Martin and Co. Estate Agents.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Well, to begin with, in my non-Paxman style interview style, question one, which a lot of the viewers will be familiar with. If you'd had the luxury of having 2 months' notice, say, of this COVID-19 crisis, what do you think you would have done differently to prepare for it?
Yeah, I don't think anyone could have really sort of prepared too much for what's happened, but I guess for us, we've got quite a big lettings portfolio within our branches, and I think whilst we'd always recommend to any of our landlords to have rent protection, many of them, like many insurance products, will just think, oh, we don't really need them. Why do we need to spend the extra money? And until the actual time comes when you do need it, you realise, I wish I'd had it. And I think with 2 months' notice, I think we would have phoned all of our landlords that didn't have rent protection and tell them to get it, because obviously there's a lot of people with job insecurity at the moment, people that have lost their jobs, people that just can't afford to pay their rent, sadly, which has left landlords that need the money, and especially those that might rely on the money, in a bit of a situation, really. So, yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things for us.
Yeah. You know, you're the first person that said that to me of all the interviews I've done, and I expected it to be one of the first things people would have said. So, question two: who or what has impressed you most at this time, and why?
Um, I guess, as everyone else has said, the NHS obviously is a bit of a no-brainer, really. I think that the shopkeepers, the people that are likes of working at the likes of Waitrose and Sainsbury's and Tesco's are the unsung heroes who are still putting their lives on the line, serving and selling us the groceries and things that we need. I think closer to me, I guess my staff more than anyone. I mean, we entered lockdown, it was 23rd, 24th of March. We didn't furlough any of our staff until the 1st of April, because we wanted to make sure that everyone was informed about what impact it was going to have on our business, really. We knew that we had a service to provide to all of our clients, and make sure that everyone that had any questions about how are we going to continue to market our properties, what's going to happen with this, what's going to happen with that. So we kept all of our staff on so we could ensure the communication was really good throughout our business. And it was a testament to all of our staff that they worked really hard, still doing so from home, providing that service. And even moving forward, the staff that we have kept on, what they've been doing in the background, keeping in contact with our customers, which has been so important during this time. It's quite easy during a lockdown to think, oh, there's nothing we can do, and hang up the phone and you just sit there and do nothing. But the staff that have still been working for my company, not the furloughed staff haven't, but the people that have continued working during this time have been fantastic, as I said, maintaining that communication and still promoting properties. I mean, we've still got a huge captive audience out there at the moment. Our inquiry levels are still actually quite high at the moment, where I guess there's a lot of people still at home that are searching for properties on Rightmove, Zoopla, or whatever the portal is they use. Our click-through rates are nearly 30% higher than what they were at this time last year. So it's still important that we are still showcasing our properties, and obviously we need our staff to do that, which they have been. So I've been really, really impressed with the staff that work for Parkers.
No, that's good to hear. You know, I agree. Communication is the key. At the best of times and the worst of times, it's all about making sure everyone's speaking to each other. So, question three: describe something you've enjoyed actually during this lockdown period.
Highs and lows, I guess, of working at home with, I mean, I've got 2 children, one of 5 and one at 7, which are require a lot of attention. But being an estate agent, we work quite long hours. I spend a very small amount of time with them in the morning and again in the evening when I get home from work. Obviously, I see them at weekends, but just being able to spend more time with my kids, I have enjoyed the majority of the time. But we have a football match every day once they finish their schoolwork at around about sort of 4, 4:30, and just seeing the smiles on their faces every day when we have that game of football, I think that's something that that I've particularly enjoyed, that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do so if we weren't on lockdown. So that's been quite nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to persuade my two to do football, but they'd rather have a Nerf war, which always ends up with me getting question 4, and perhaps is the most important one of the lot, although they're all important in their own way. What do you think the biggest change to the property industry will be because of COVID-19 moving forwards?
Yeah, I mean, it's the $1 million question, really, isn't it? It's the unknown. I mean, there's so many different reports and predictions that we're reading out there at the moment as to the impacts of what it's going to do to the property market. And I think until the property market is unlocked, I don't necessarily think we really know. What I can tell everyone is that there is still good demand for property. We're receiving more inquiries now than what we were this time last year. We've still agreed sales on properties. I mean, with my branches at Parkers, we're quite fortunate. We've been using some of the most cutting edge technology to sell all of our properties with virtual tours and virtual viewings for nearly 2 years now. And I think it's a real eye opener for our industry. I think now, as to the people perhaps that didn't have that technology, that it's been very difficult for them to be able to continue marketing properties during this time, during a lockdown. Whereas with virtual tours, we're actually able to showcase a property, show someone around a property via a virtual viewing, give them all the information that they need about a property. And we have actually secured many lets and a few sales based on virtual viewings. And I think moving forward in the guidelines that we're going to have, that we've got to work with, I think virtual viewings are going to become quite essential for us, really, because what it enables us to do is give someone all the information they need. So everyone that's worked in agency will always remember those situations where a vendor's spent 2 hours tidying their property up for you to be able to show someone around, and you've been in the property 30 seconds and someone said, oh, didn't realise it needed so much work, or oh, that bedroom's smaller than I thought. And we're done in 30 seconds, and your vendor's going mad because they've spent all that time cleaning their house up. Yet with virtual viewings, we can almost overcome that because everyone is so well educated about that property before they physically go and have a look at it. So it's almost like a second viewing before they see it. And I think this technology, video technology, like our Zoom meeting today, I think is going to become a fundamental part of the marketing of properties, whether it be with social media or the way that we're advertising properties, virtual viewings. It's going to become a lot bigger in our industry, I think.
No, I completely agree. And when you mentioned Zoom, a few people I've spoken to in this series of interviews have all said that they wish they bought shares in Zoom in January.
Yeah.
I definitely endorse that one. And so question 5, last but not least, what's the one thing you've not been able to do because of social distancing measures and lockdown that you're really looking forward to being able to do when it's all finally over?
Yeah, I mean, I guess physical interaction for me. I mean, estate agency is so much a part, whilst you can still build up a rapport over a Zoom meeting or over a telephone, and a lot of the work that we do is over a telephone, but it's also initially is being able to build that relationship with a customer, whether you're physically going out and showing them around a property, or you're out valuing their property, giving them a market appraisal. And that's the bit I enjoy most in my career, as being an estate agent. I've always, whilst I do like talking to people on the phone, I've always found it a lot more rewarding to be able to physically meet that person and build up more of a relationship once you've done so. And I do miss that, and not just at work, but also just generally in your social life as well, being able to meet people with friends and family, and just having that physical interaction with people is something that I certainly miss, and we'll be looking forward to doing so again.
No, one day we'll all be allowed out and allowed to be grown-ups again. One day.
Yeah, go down the pub.
Yeah, that as well. Well, thank you very much, Simon. That's been very insightful. And for all of the viewers watching this, if you have a property in Reading and the surrounding areas and you're looking to sell, then Simon and his team at Parkers, I'm sure, will be delighted to help you with the technology they've got, which appears is light years ahead of many others. So thank you very much for this afternoon, sir.
Thanks, Paul. Cheers.